How did IMF structural adjustment programs impact developing nations? Imagine a country struggling with high inflation, falling currency value, and rising debt. To fix these issues, many turn to the International Monetary Fund. But what exactly happens when a country adopts these reform plans? Let's explore how these programs change the economic paths of developing nations. Structural adjustment programs are sets of economic reforms that the International Monetary Fund requires countries to follow to get loans or debt relief. These programs aim to stabilize economies by cutting government spending, opening markets to international trade, and encouraging private businesses. Countries often have to privatize state-owned companies, remove trade barriers, and devalue their currencies to make exports more competitive. The goal is to help countries regain access to international capital markets, control inflation, and balance their budgets. When successful, some nations see their economies grow stronger, inflation drop, and foreign investments increase. But these benefits don't come without costs. On the economic side, devaluing currencies makes exports cheaper and more attractive abroad. However, it also raises the price of imported goods, which can increase costs for industries that rely on foreign inputs. Privatization often leads to job losses in government-run companies, and austerity measures can cut public spending on health and education. This can hurt the poor and vulnerable groups most. Socially, these programs often lead to reduced social services, which can cause higher unemployment and widen income gaps. People may struggle to afford health care or education, and public sector workers might face layoffs or wage cuts. These changes can create social unrest and increase inequality. Many countries also find themselves stuck in a cycle of debt. While the programs aim to help manage and repay debts, some nations end up borrowing more to meet their obligations. This dependency on external financing can limit their control over their own economic policies. Structurally, these reforms shifted economies from being inward-focused and government-led to more open and market-driven. While this can boost exports and attract foreign investment, it can also weaken local industries that can't compete with international firms without enough support. From a broader view, these programs show how the International Monetary Fund's role evolved from simply providing emergency loans to actively shaping economic policies. They reflected a shift toward neoliberal ideas that prioritize free markets and privatization, often influenced by Western economic policies. Understanding these impacts helps us see the complex legacy of these programs. They helped some countries stabilize and grow, but often at the expense of social stability and long-term development. It's a reminder that economic reforms need to be tailored carefully to each country's unique situation, balancing growth with social well-being.